Hello, Maplewood Middle School, and welcome to the next edition of the Cougar Chronicles. Today, February 1st, marks the beginning of Black History Month 2021, and we will continue sharing with you as a school community what Maplewood Middle School is doing to recognize Black History Month. In particular, we're excited that this year will mark our first annual oratory contest. You will get some information about that in the newsletter, and hopefully you'll be hearing about it from your teachers. You start out by just submitting a short video to me, and you record that video for your first rounds. And then we will have judges that will determine semifinalists and finalists. And our judges are from outside the school. They are from educators in the district and also some community members. We really want our kids to participate and recognize the proud oral tradition of our Black community by participating in our oratory contest. So please stay tuned for that, and I will end with a poem and some ways to get you thinking about potentially participating in that. This week, also February 1st through 5th, is National Black Lives Matter Week of Action at Schools. Here at Maplewood Middle School, we recognize and encourage our teachers to participate in the events organized by New Jersey's National Black Lives Matter Week of Action at Schools, and MAPSO Freedom School locally has activities and encourages educators to participate. We are encouraging our educators at Maplewood Middle to attend a Montclair State University event this week. It's free to the public, and it is featuring Jamila Lyascott, and the topic for this evening event is called Healing America's Racial Divisions in the Age of Coronavirus. So, that said, you'll hear quite a bit about Black History Month throughout the week and months, the weeks to come. But I wanted to I have some books with me to get you thinking about your participation in our oratory contest. So I've read this from this book before, and it's called Love from the Vortex by Yolanda Celia Ruiz. I'm going to read a poem to you and then have you hopefully think about what you might compose if you're going to participate in the oratory contest. The oratory contest, you can do one of two things. You can compose an original poem and read it and recite it, or you can do a recitation of somebody else's work or a section of their speech. And so I've got one of my favorite shirts on, and you might potentially be highlighting from a Black author, a Black orator, a recitation. I have Cicely Tyson here. We know we lost her last week, and lots of other people on my shirt who are great orators and just great thinkers and speakers and activists of our time. So I urge you can press pause and look at my shirt for some ideas. Here is Yolanda Ruiz's poem, and it's called Life. The uncertainty that lies before me makes me wonder if this is really what life is all about. Living in spaces of discomfort, teetering between the known and unknown, the unrecognizable and the familiar, trying to make sense of it all. It's tiring, I admit it. The hustle game run mystery. But if I knew all the answers, the outcomes, would I still think life to be as exciting? Would the disappointments be as abysmal and the victories as sweet? So I want to remind you, poems don't necessarily rhyme. And of course, you're learning about pieces in poetry, probably in years past and certainly in middle school in your English classes. I really would love to hear student voices, poetry, because we really want to hear from you what you have to say about your experiences. The theme for our oratory contest is power in our purpose. So what do you have to say about purpose? When we think about the struggles and triumphs and all that we have to celebrate that the Black community has given to our community, our nation, our world, what can we celebrate and the power and that purpose? So there's lots of different ways to think about and engage yourself in what you might write about or who you might recite from. I have a few books in my office. You know, I love to share what I have in my office. This is one of my favorite books, and while it is geared towards younger children, there's so many rich issues captured in here. It's by Lupita Nyong'o, and it's called Soulway. It's all about her experiences learning to love her beautiful skin and herself, and not try to be somebody who she is not, but instead celebrate all of who she is. And so that might encourage you. You might find a piece, maybe a children's book, that might help you think about what you might want to compose if you're doing an original poem. And honestly, this is a piece that you could recite from if you choose to do a recitation for the oratory contest. I also have this book, Kobe Bryant, The Mamba Mentality. And this is not a poetry book. This is pieces and excerpts about Kobe's experience as an athlete and who he became, and really how he found his purpose. And so if you're doing a recitation, again, you might find a book like this that you want to recite from. So I hope that that gives you some things to think about. The doors are wide open in terms of what you might write about. And we really, really, really want to hear from our students. If you have questions, you can ask anyone on our planning committee. So that's me, that's also Miss Johnson, Miss Graham, or Miss Reese. And those are English teachers in our school who are on the planning team for our oratory contest. Of course, you can also ask your teachers, but if they aren't sure how to help you proceed, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of the four of us. We really want this to be an exciting event and something that highlights just the beauty of the Black experience. So have a wonderful week, Maplewood Middle School. You'll be hearing more about this in the coming weeks. And you have until the second week in February to submit something. So right now you can be thinking about it. And then by February 19th, we hope we'll be getting lots of submissions. Take care. Bye-bye.